Maybe the problem with Rainbow Six Siege hasn't been Ubisoft, but rather the community itself. And just think about that for a second. At the end of the day, it isn't Ubisoft that's cheating, it's the Siege community that's cheating. It's not Ubisoft that's abusing a TDM meta and destroying the strategy side of the game, it's the Siege community that's doing it. We collectively pack on Ubisoft, myself included, for a lot of problems in this game, but I think we fail to look at the root problem, which is the greater Rainbow Six Siege gaming community. I mean, just think about it, like, people play the game for, 6 hours a day, and inevitably they get sick and tired of Siege, and then before you know it, their Twitter fingers are moving at Mach 10 speed, and they're complaining about Ubisoft Online, and so on and so forth. And this isn't to say that Ubisoft has been some perfect angel company in regards to Rainbow Six Siege, because I'd be the first one to tell you that they have messed up on a lot of things. However, the community is so unbelievably toxic and reactive, I guess, in a way, that it's become a massive weight pulling Siege down. It's crazy to say that with all of these insanely serious issues going on with the game that make it nearly unplayable at this point, to be honest, that the Rainbow Six Siege community is probably, still the biggest problem of all of these issues. Yeah, you have your players that message you that you suck, or they tell you to harm yourself, or they call you a slur, and all of that really sucks, but I'm even more so focused or concerned with the players that make the game impossible to play, because even though it does suck, you can turn game chat off to avoid that aspect, but you can't stop a teammate from throwing a game. In the span of 3 ranked games that I played last night, I got team killed in the first round of both of those games by 2 completely different players in a different lobby, and both times the player had left the game and would return periodically to either, hold the diffuser and spawn, and, or maybe they'll play Tachanka on defense and open up every soft wall in the objective to throw the rounds, things like that. They were just doing dumb things to make it impossible to win, and I don't even understand where the reward is in that. Where do they feel good? Why is that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's very obviously rooted in some deep personal issues, and that can't be taken back. That can't be taken out on Ubisoft, if you know what I'm saying. And like I said, these 2 games were on 2 separate occasions in diamond lobbies within, plus or minus an hour of each other. So it's also not even like this was just, bronze or copper where people are just being dumb. They just, opened up an account and now they're, going and throwing games. These players had to have worked to get to diamond lobbies, and they're just throwing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, I get it, Ubisoft has had its massive problems with screwing up this game, so I'm not discrediting that at all, but at the same time, this community has become so toxic that it only worsens the entire situation. And I'm not really saying they've become so toxic, because really we all know that this community has been very toxic since really the launch of this game, or at least as long as I've been playing, for 7 years now. And don't even get me started, I know I touched on game chat, but the verbal harassment you have to face in game chat if by God you somehow don't clutch a 1v4 after your whole team died in 25 seconds, it's just crazy how you get, so people get so angry at you for no reason. It's a video game, And I know toxicity exists in not only every gaming community, but really just any community that you're a part of. It's going to be there. It's just so prevalent in Rainbow Six Siege that I guarantee every single person watching this video has some sort of story to tell from their own experience about, some players ruining their game by either trolling or griefing or throwing or, cheating. Like I said multiple times that there's no confusion, I recognize the issues that Ubisoft has created in this game, and I've talked about them extensively in other videos, so you should watch them if you don't want to hear me calling out the community. But this video's sole purpose is to look past the game's development team and see the daily players that are ruining this game for the people that still love it, like me, and I'm sure many of you watching do as well. And on a completely different note, I know what you guys may be thinking. It's hard to even blame Ubisoft for pushing out the memberships because people are still giving in and buying it. I can't even be mad at Ubisoft for doing it either, because at the end of the day, they are a business trying to make money, they're trying to get that bottom line. So of course they're going to squeeze as much money out of their players as they can, and those players continue to give into it. That's another part of the community that has a problem. So if the community would stop giving into that corporate greed, then maybe we would be able to force Ubisoft to change, you know? And also, I know it's a slippery slope, but the community complains about new maps like Lair and constantly hate on it and ban it, and additionally they hate on changes to grenades and the unwanted buffs and nerfs of Solus and other operators, whatever. Yet when Operation New Blood came around and Ubisoft took a step back from adding much content, people also complained even more so. So do you want content? Do you not want content? I don't know. We're just a very reactive community, myself included. I'm not excluding myself. And it makes it almost impossible for Ubisoft to be seen as the good guys. And I'm not saying one side is right or one side is wrong, but you can see how difficult it must be to work on a game where the community is going to come at your throats no matter what you do or what you don't do for the game. And like how I said, I know that toxic gaming communities are in every video game, but obviously I'm not here to focus on other games. We're just looking at Rainbow Six Siege, and I feel like it's all just sort of a mess right now. Obviously, it's a huge mix between a AAA gaming studio capitalizing off of a broken game, as well as toxic players that are actively breaking the game, and Ubisoft isn't fixing it, and those toxic players are feeding off of it. And now here we are in Year 9 Season 2 Operation New Blood, with players who've played the game since its launch quitting because they just can't handle it anymore. And I understand that at this point. It's just the direction that we're heading in. And I'm not here to propose some solution because I really don't know if there is one at this point, but it's kind of just, sad to see, like, no matter what direction Siege takes. I've kind of talked about the possibility of a Rainbow Six Siege 2 or, some kind of crazy update to the game that changes it. No matter what, the community is going to follow with that. So, like, I don't know what there is to really do, because as long as the community is in this sort of structure that it's in, there's not going to be much progress. Ubisoft can only do so much, and I get it, they're not really doing enough, but I don't know what the solution would be to this. I mean, like, let me know if you guys know something, but like, how do you stop people from throwing games? How do you stop cheaters from wanting to cheat? You can't. They're gonna find ways no matter what. No matter what you do to try to program this game, there are going to be cheaters. There are going to be people that are harassing people in the chat. Like, you can't do anything about that. So I don't know. I mean, the point of this video wasn't to say, oh, here's my big solution. The point is, like, this is a problem, and like, I don't know what there is to do about it, but it's certainly worth recognizing. It's certainly worth noticing, because this is a game I spend a lot of time on. This is a game I created a channel off of. This is a game I'm sure all of you guys watching have spent a lot of time on, and it seems like the community aspect of it is unchangeable. You can change the code as much as you want and so on and so forth, but you can't change the people. As always, I love Siege, and this isn't meant to be some crazy condemning video. To be honest, I was just really ticked off about those ranked games I had played last night with teammates throwing, and in that sort of anger, I kind of realized that Ubisoft isn't the only problem with this game. There are people that are causing these problems. So I've been on a bit of a tear recently with talking about the state of Rainbow Six Siege and ways to fix it. So go check out some of those videos if you haven't already. Maybe if you want to see where Ubisoft is the problem, not the community. I definitely talk about that a lot. Also, be sure to subscribe and join the Discord link in the description if you want to talk more about this topic, or really just any topic in general on a more personal level. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I didn't sound like too much of a complainer in this video. Just kind of wanted to rant to you guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree and relate to this. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.